Hello guys, once again welcome back. It's me Renju here. So today we are going to study the third chapter of POLITY in 6th standard of NCERT textbook. So in the previous classes we have completed the two chapters of POLITY. That is, first chapter was about diversity and the second chapter was about diversity and discrimination. So in this unit 2 we are going to discuss about the government. Okay, first of all, there is a quote is given by R.K. Lakshman. It is that a cartoonist business in a democracy is to exercise his right to criticize, ridicule, find fault with political leaders through cartoons. And then let's start our chapter, what is government. So in this chapter we will learn about what is a government and what is the important role made by government in your lives. What do governments do? How do they decide what to do? Okay, and as some of the types of governments are there, such as monarchies and democracies. We will study everything. Okay, so friends, you have to just listen carefully throughout this video. Then only you can grasp all the basic concepts from these basic NCERT textbooks. Okay. It is saying that every country needs a government to make decisions and get things done. So, every country needs a government in order to make decisions and get things done. These can be decisions about where to build roads and schools, or how to reduce the price of onions when they get too expensive, or ways to increase the supply of electricity. So, we know government has many roles in our lives. If we need electricity, then government has a role to give us electricity, and also their roles include building roads, schools, and maintaining the price levels of market goods, etc. And it has several programs to help the poor also. The government does other important things such as running postal and railway services also. So the government, that is central as well as state government, has several duties in our society for the well-being of our nation and the people. Then the government also has the job of protecting the boundaries of the country and maintaining peaceful relations with other countries. So we know every country has neighboring countries. So some of the countries are very peaceful in between those neighborhood countries, but most of the countries have some type of conflicts and riots or warlike conditions are existing there. For example, Pakistan, Chinese attempts towards India. So it is responsible for ensuring that all its citizens have enough to eat and have good health facilities. So we have said that the government has a role to protect the neighborhood nations, to protect the people of the country from the attacks of neighboring countries, and to create a peaceful atmosphere there. And also the government has a role to provide food materials to all people equally, and also providing health facilities also. When there are natural disasters like tsunami or earthquake taking place, the government that mainly organizes aid and assistance for the affected people. We know that recently there was Amphan and locust attacks were in India. So during that conditions, the government has been taking a lot of actions not to find out many solutions against that problems. Okay, because the primary duty of the government is the well-being of the people. So if there is a dispute or if someone has committed a crime, you find people in a court. Courts are also part of the government. So the point is that courts are also taking a part of our government. So if certain crimes are happening in our society, or some riots like conditions are there, then the courts can interfere there, and the courts can provide solutions, and then create a peaceful atmosphere there by acting together with the government. Okay, then some examples of institutions that are part of the government are the Supreme Court, the Indian Railways, and Bharat Petroleum. So here's a point is that just focus the main points, and instead of just listening throughout, you have to put a pen and a book, and you have to note down all the essential points. After that, you can understand all the main points, and there is no need to listen the video then. Okay, if you have to refer in future, you can depend on that lecture notes like that. So there is a need to control resources and protect the territory of a country so people can feel secure. So we have discussed a lot of duties of government. So another duty of government is that to control resources and protect the territory of a country so people can feel secure. So there must be an equal distribution of resources among all the people. Governments do this on behalf of their people by exercising leadership, taking decisions, and implementing these among all the people living in their territory. So we know that there are certain elections are taking place, leaders are elected, and all the essential needs of the people are get fulfilled by those leaders, because through that leaders who can implement certain policies and actions in the society for the betterment of the people. Then the next is levels of government. So the government works at different levels, at the local level, at the level of the state, and at the national level. Okay, the government works at different levels, at the local level, at the level of state, and at the national level. The local level means in your village, town, or locality. The state level would mean that which cover an entire state like Haryana or Assam or Kerala, and the national level relates to entire country. So the government works at a different level, that is in three types of levels: local level, national level, and state level. And some two maps of India is given here. We can see all the districts that are in the map, and also the union territories, the neighborhood countries are there. So just go through that maps. Okay, then coming Then comes the laws and the government. The government makes laws and everyone who lives in the country has to follow this. We know there are a lot of laws in India by the government. So we have to obey all their laws and regulations, because we are the citizens, so that we have the commitment to obey all those duties, those laws. This is the only way governments can function. So only when we obey all the laws and when we live according to which that laws, then only the government can function effectively. Okay, just like the government has the power to make decisions, similarly it has the power to enforce its decisions. So government has the power to make decisions and it has also the power to implement or enforce its decisions. For example, there is a law that says that all persons driving a motorcycle must have a license. Any person caught driving a vehicle without a license can either be jailed or fined a large sum of money. Without these laws, the government's power to make decisions is not of much use. So we have the freedom to travel along the country, and we can travel everywhere. But there are certain laws are there. In this case, we have to ensure that we have a license for that motorcycle. Then only we can travel along that country. Okay. So according to those laws and regulations, we can live here. Then only the government can function properly. Then comes types of government. In a democracy, it is the people who give the government this power. Okay, we know that there are certain every 5 years there are elections are taking place in India, and we know it is a democratic country, so that election is a fundamental part. The government do this through elections in which they vote for particular persons and elect them. So the people of India are electing the leaders of our society, leaders from the society. That's they are just they are representative. We are electing the representatives of society. Through them we can ensure the policies and enforce certain actions. Once elected, these persons form the government. In a democracy, the government has to explain its actions and defend its decisions to the people. So, in a democracy, the government has to explain its actions. So, there is no secret in the rule of government. It is in an open manner, because those representatives are elected by the people. So their duty is to ensure all the dreams of those people. So it should be the government, the administration should be in an open manner, without any secret or private policies. Another form of government is monarchy. Okay, first form was democracy, the second is monarchy. The monarch, that is a king or queen, has the power to make decisions and run the government. The monarch may have a small group of people to discuss matters with, but the final decision making power remains with the monarch. Unlike in democracy, kings and queens do not have to explain their actions or defend the decisions they take. So, we are in a democratic country. We know the final decisions are sometimes maybe by people of India. But in a monarchy, the final decision is by the prime rulers or king or queen, like supreme rulers. Okay, there is no much role for the people of that country. So that's a main difference between the democratic and monarchic areas. Then it's a question here that which type of government would you prefer to have in the place you live in? Okay, do you prefer monarchy or democracy? Okay, it's your thinking time. Then democratic governments is the next heading. Democratic governments. The main feature of a democracy is that the people have the power to elect their leaders. So, in a sense, a democracy is ruled by the people. So, what is democracy? Democracy is ruled by the people. The basic idea is that people rule themselves by participating in the making of these rules. And these are some of the characteristics of democracy or democratic governments. We can just put down. Okay. Democratic governments in our times are usually referred to as representative democracies. Represent democracies. Democratic governments in our times are usually referred to as representative democracies, because previously I have said that we are electing the representatives through the elections. That is why the democratic governments is referred to as representative democracies. In representative democracies, people do not participate directly, but instead choose their representatives through an election process. Okay, these representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. Okay. Yeah. So, by electing those representatives, they are implementing the decisions for the entire population. If a certain area is struggling with struggling with lack of drinking water, then this is a public issue. Then this problem can be solved by their representatives. Okay, then that water problem can be solved. So in this manner, a lot of local problems can be solved by electing those powerful, effective representatives, because the people know who can rule corruption, without any corruption, without any selfishness, and like that. Then other time is universal adult franchise. What is mean by universal adult franchise? Okay, this means that all adults in the country are allowed to vote. In the earlier times, the governments allowed only men to own property or to continue education, to vote extra. This means that there is no rule for women at that times. The woman became propertyless, uneducated, and they had no power to vote as well. In India, before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote. Several people, including Gandhiji, were shocked at the unfairness of this practice and demanded that all adults have the right to vote. This is known as universal adult franchise. So earlier times the women have no power in society just as male. So after the independence and after implementing the universal adult franchise and after writing the constitution, there were a lot of changes were in the laws and regulations. After the implementation of all such laws, there were a lot of changes. Then after that, the woman got the power to vote, to educate, to live in a dignified manner. Okay. So Gandhiji, like freedom fighters, have a great role in these types of situations. Then it's a column for votes for women. You can see that all over Europe and USA, women and the poor have had to fight for participation in government. So in earlier times, in most of the countries, there were no role for the women in their countries. For example, Europe, USA, etc. So they fought in a good manner for the participation in government. Women's struggle to vote got strengthened during the First World War. Okay, during the First World War, women struggled a lot for their freedom to vote. This movement is called the Women's Suffrage Movement, as the term suffrage usually means right to vote. Okay, this type of women's struggle to vote is referred to as Women's Suffrage Movement. So here the term suffrage usually means right to vote. The suffragettes demanded the right to vote for all women, and to get their demands heard they chained themselves to railings in public places. So suffragettes have a role in helping those women who could not vote at all. Many suffragettes were imprisoned and went on hunger strikes, and they had to be fed by force. American women got the right to vote in 1920, but in UK the woman got the freedom to vote only in 1928. In India, I said that before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote. Then after the coming of Gandhiji, like freedom fighters, we all got the equal power to vote. Then the question is here, we have seen two maps of India. So you can find out the names of neighbors of India and the states and your states, the states in which you are living, and the union territories and its neighbors, and name of your district and its neighbors, routes from your district to the national capital. So it's all about our chapter. So some of the questions are here. What do you understand by the word government? Okay, list 5 ways in which you think the government affects your daily life. So the first part of this chapter, I have said that government has several roles in our day-to-day lives. So you can find out some of the ways in which the government affects your daily life. Then, why do you think the government needs to make rules for everyone in the form of laws? So, we know the government is implementing certain laws for everyone. So, in fact, what is the role of such laws and regulations in our society? Is it need for our society? You can think and write. Name 2 essential features of a democratic government. Okay, so it's a important area. What is the features of democratic government? So since we are living in a democratic country, what was the suffrage movement and what did it accomplish? So we have all discussed about all suffrage. Okay, then. So after going through all these chapters, you have to frame a lot of questions and answers. Then only you can think and write in mains as well as prelims effectively. Okay, just to do that. So we can see next class. Okay, bye. Have a nice day, friends. And just if you like, please like my YouTube channel, please share, please comment me, please. And it's my first YouTube channel, it is my first attempts, so I need your support, then only I can continue as like, and I can upload these types of NCERT summaries and more text. I think I can upload a lot of videos like this, because I love teaching very much, and I think I can complete geography, history, polity, science, geography, then Indian polity, Indian freedom struggle, various lot of subjects. Textbooks are out there for as the reference of UPSC for prelims and mains. So I need a lot of support from you guys. So please support me. Okay, let's conclude. Bye.